How's it going?
So Olivia told me that she came out here and talked to you, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and what did she ask you?
She asked us to leave.
Okay, and did she provide you with the rules and regulations 7 of the U.S. Post Office?
We're allowed to be here. It's government property.
So it's what?
Government property. So it's open to the public.
Did she provide you with the rules and regulations?
I didn't see him.
Let me go grab those for you. That it does say on there that there is no soliciting or there is no getting signatures on post office property. I'll go get that paper.
That doesn't trump the U.S. Constitution, though.
So I'm going to go get this piece of paper for you to let you know.
Even if I see I'm not leaving.
Give me 1 second.
I'm still not leaving, so. I really don't care what that paper says. I already know we have the right to be here. I'm not trying to be rude to anybody, but I'm not going to have my rights trampled on.
Well,
it's a First Amendment protected activity. There's plenty of case law. The Supreme Court's ruled on this already. I mean,
well, the Postmaster has
they have rules that say, oh, you can't film in here too, but you're allowed to go film in there. I mean, it doesn't their policy doesn't trump the law, you know.
A little different. Filming is different than First Amendment protected activity. No, it's not. That's not what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to is the aspect.
Before a single word is exchanged, you need to understand what's really at stake here, because this isn't just about a disagreement outside a post office. This is about the collision between constitutional rights and institutional ignorance. What you're about to watch is a textbook example of how everyday citizens can suddenly find themselves in legal crosshairs, not because they broke the law, but because someone in authority doesn't fully understand it. This case centers around a First Amendment activity on government property, something the Supreme Court has ruled on repeatedly. Yet, from the very first moments, you'll see officers leaning heavily on policies, rules, and printed papers as if those documents magically outweigh the Constitution itself. And that's where things get dangerous. Pay close attention to how calm the citizen remains, how consistently he references established law, and how quickly officials default to warnings, trespass threats, and vague legal claims. Even more alarming, this escalates all the way to the chief of police, someone who should be the final authority on lawful conduct. So ask yourself as you watch, if this can happen here, over something this clear-cut, how often is it happening when there's no camera rolling? And more importantly, would you know how to respond if it were you standing there?
Stand here and do government petitions.
How you doing, miss? You got time on your way out? We've got the pro-life petition.
You guys came here last week and did the same thing.
No worries. You have a good day,
Not you
bud.
personally, but the police came here last week and told the other guys the same thing, and they actually told the postmaster they could stay because that cop actually seemed to know the law.
Well, that was this officer, and the postmaster at that time had indicated to him that as long as there wasn't any complaints that they received from people coming and going.
Gotcha.
And apparently now they feel that they've had some complaints. So that's why he's checking in.
We've only been here 15 minutes, so.
Gentlemen, I just got here too.
I know, I'm not trying to be rude to you at all. I appreciate your service. I know what you guys go through. But I think he's wasting his time by trying to show me this policy because I really don't care what that says. I already know what the Constitution says, you know.
Okay.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
So I just talked to Olivia, and she said that she did put you on warning for trespassing.
Okay.
I talked to the attorneys with the U.S. Post Office.
Okay.
And they said that this is the rules and regulations.
Here is the first major fault line in this encounter. The citizen immediately identifies the core issue: policy versus constitutional authority. And this distinction matters more than most people realize. Policies are internal guidelines. They help agencies operate, but they do not create law, and they absolutely do not override constitutional protections. Notice how confidently the officer references rules and regulations, yet cannot immediately produce them. That's a recurring pattern in cases like this: authority without clarity. Meanwhile, the citizen is already framing the situation.
We have every right to be here.
Okay. I'm going to go get her to have you, or let you know that.
What's your name and badge number too, Clark?
I am Chief Clark with the Boys Town Police Department.
So you're chief?
I am the Chief of Police.
And you don't know that we have a right to be here?
I do know that there are certain stipulations under the U.S. Code that does not allow you guys to do this particular thing. You can be on the sidewalks. You can be on the sidewalks over there doing your petitions. But these petitions stipulate the U.S. Code that you cannot do the signature petitions on their properties.
That's not the law. You know the Supreme Court ruled that we can do this, right?
I do know that there is a Supreme Court ruling, but that is in conjunction to older buildings.
No, any government building, DMV, any government property.
Okay.
You're a chief, you should know that, man. I don't mind a simple lawsuit against Boys Town Police. It'll be a slam dunk. It'll be a settlement. Make you guys look bad.
That's your choice. That's your prerogative. We're trying.
It's not my choice. I'm trying to. No, you're trying to violate our rights.
We're trying to work this out as best we can.
No, you're trying to violate our rights. We have every right to be here. This is a government building.
This moment is subtle but incredibly telling. The officer actually admits, it's a little different. I agree. That's a quiet acknowledgement that things aren't as clear-cut as he initially suggested. And yet, instead of stopping to reassess, he continues forward anyway. This is where many constitutional violations are born, not from malice, but from stubborn momentum. Once an officer commits to a narrative, backing out can feel like losing authority. So rather than pause and verify the law, they push ahead, hoping compliance resolves the situation, the problem. Rights don't disappear just because someone is uncomfortable enforcing them. The citizen isn't debating hypotheticals here, he's referencing Supreme Court precedent. That's the highest authority in the land. For viewers, this is a crucial learning moment. Watch how often officials acknowledge uncertainty but proceed regardless. That's why knowing your rights isn't optional, it's protected.
I haven't harassed a single person. I haven't blocked the door. I've been very polite to every single person I've talked to. We've been here for, what, 15 minutes?
Yep. So as acting postmaster of this station, you are not allowed to be here on our property.
We are allowed to be here.
The rules and regulations say no.
That doesn't, the Constitution has more power than that.
So just so you're aware that you're not allowed to collect signatures on postal property.
I'm aware of your opinion. Postal property is public property, right?
That over there.
Is postal property public property? Right? I'm asking you a question, miss. Is postal property public property?
This is Boys Town property.
Which is
Private
public.
property.
You'll get an education. I mean, it's fine. We can get arrested if that's what you guys really want to do.
Tell them this.
Okay.
We don't want to arrest anybody, so...
Well, then leave us alone. Trying to be respectful to you guys, but I'm not.
What?
Excuse me.
4 hours.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, she
has no right to tell us to leave for what we're doing. She has no right to tell us to leave.
Come on
Okay.
down.
Well, she does in accordance to the U.S. Code.
No, we didn't break it.
This is where the encounter takes a serious turn. The moment the word trespassing is introduced, the stakes rise dramatically. Trespass implies unlawful presence, yet we're still talking about public property, during business hours, with no crime alleged. Warnings like this are often used as pressure tools. They create fear and confusion, hoping the person will leave voluntarily rather than challenge the claim. But legally speaking, trespass on public property requires more than discomfort or complaints. It requires unlawful behavior. What's impressive here is how quickly the citizen recognizes this tactic and refuses to accept it at face value. He doesn't get loud. He doesn't get aggressive. He questions the legal basis, exactly what every person has the right to do. This is also where many people would fold. So pause and ask yourself, would you have stayed? Or would the threat alone have been enough to make you...
Say in here, I'll let you see this.
It could say you can't wear a green shirt too, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean it's a law. I don't care what it says.
And collecting signatures or petitions are prohibited on postal service property.
Just because they print that doesn't mean anything. The Constitution says it's not. That's just a piece of paper. The Constitution, the Supreme Court has ruled several times, guys. Come on, you know this.
Okay. So I did talk to the attorney.
I'm not leaving.
Post office. Okay. So I'm going to talk to him real quick too.
So this is protecting unborn children from abortion.
Yes, I know.
What's your name and badge number?
Deputy Chief Gill.
Okay.
Badge number 2035.
Thanks.
You know, I already know what I'm doing.
Did Olivia let you know what is going on?
I already know what I'm doing. Thank you.
You guys have a good day.
Thank you for your time. Yep, God bless you too.
I'm not stepping a foot out of here unless I've committed a crime, which I'm not going to do.
I'll let you know here in a second.
Man, you got the full life. This just got time on your way out.
When the chief of police arrives, you expect clarity, de-escalation, and legal precision. Unfortunately, that's not what happens here. Instead, authority walks in carrying even more confusion. The chief confidently references U.S. code and restrictions, but struggles to accurately apply them. Confidence without correctness is dangerous, especially at this level. The citizen immediately challenges the claims with Supreme Court precedent, and rather than engaging with that substance, the chief defaults back to policy framing. That's not how constitutional law works. This is also where ego can become a liability. Rather than reassessing, the chief doubles down. And the deeper he goes, the more exposed the department becomes to liability. This moment should concern everyone watching. If the highest-ranking officer on scene doesn't fully grasp the limits of his authority, who does?
His own city a ton of money. And look foolish on YouTube.
They said it's private property.
Well, they're idiots. Not the cop, but that lady's an idiot.
That's all we need to hear.
Here's another common misconception laid bare: the idea that an acting postmaster can override constitutional rights on public property. While postal officials can enforce reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions, they cannot impose blanket bans on protected activity without lawful basis. Notice how the citizen keeps returning to one simple question: is this public property? Because once that's established, everything else follows. And instead of answering clearly, officials deflect, redefine, and redirect. This back and forth highlights how misinformation spreads institutionally. One person says it confidently, another repeats it, and suddenly it's treated as fact, even when it isn't. This isn't just frustrating. It's how rights slowly erode, not through dramatic crackdowns, but through repeated misstatements that go unchallenged.